Hi guys, happy Candlemass, happy Saturday. So, we are in that between point of being closer to spring and yes, all that good stuff. So we're going to go right into the traditional witchcraft on Imbolc, or there's a ton of different names for it. Tons of different names. So, I love this article, so I'm going to share it with you guys. Alright, so now Imbolc or Imbolc or Candlemass is the Christianized version of the name. I like Candlemass, so I mean is the celebration that occurs when the sun reaches 15 degrees Aquarius and is therefore considered a major Sabbat. So it is a major Sabbat. So this date was traditionally celebrated on the 1st or the 2nd of February, which marks that there is only 6 more weeks of winter. We have reached the halfway point. So alright, there are some traditions that may say this holiday marks the beginning of spring, but it doesn't. It doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Imbolc marks the middle of the winter season, just as Yule marked the beginning, and Ostara will mark the beginning of spring at the equinox. So the Celts actually mark this holiday as Brigid's Day, or Bird's Day in Irish, because of the goddess Bridget. So Bridget is one of the few pagan deities to have survived as saints in the Christian religion. She was a very powerful and meaningful goddess, and there was no way to force the populace to give her up. Therefore, they colonized her as Saint Bridget up until 1220 BCE. Her shrine at Kildare had a perpetual fire that was constantly tended by virgins, by the priestesses of the goddess. After Christianity took over, it was continued by the Virgin nuns, and it was turned into the Virgin Mary. So now we have, more to go. In the 1960s, after Vatican II, it was decided that Saint Bridget did not have enough evidence to canonize her, and then she was decanonized. However, in Ireland, she's still very much revered, as she is by Wiccans as the triple goddess. One aspect ruled poetry, writing, inspiration, and music. One ruled healing, midwifery, and herbology, and one ruled fire and the arts of smithcraft. So incidentally, this holiday was also called by the Christians the Feast of the Purification of Mary. So, for it was believed that women were unclean for 6 weeks after giving birth. So she had given birth at the winter solstice. This is the day when she would be purified. We look upon this as the time when the goddess who gave birth at the winter solstice is now transformed in the maiden once again. So she has transformed herself back into the maiden. So the Imbolc or Amalek was the ancient Celtic festival celebrating the birth and freshening of sheep and goats, the Feast of Milk. So Bridget's feast day was called La Fèle Bride, and represents the sea that is waiting to stir again. It is a time of great anticipation and the celebration of possibilities. New life is about to awaken in the earth is furrowed and prepared to receive the seed. So you could kind of, the vision of the earth being pregnant. That's what you could pretty much envision. So the Valentine's Day festivities were also connected at this time too. Being celebrated now on February 14th, there are different, explanations for this day. The Christian Church having one, and folklorists having another. The Christian vision states that Dr. Valentine in ancient Greece used to perform illegal Christian weddings, and he was sacrificed to the lions on this date and became Saint Valentine. Therefore, hearts and flowers are exchanged to honor the love that he had and the love of the Christian couples he joined in matrimony. Yeah, whatever. The folklorists attribute this holiday to the gallant or gallantine young men who pursued their sweethearts at this time, since some Latin, languages pronounced G as a V in earlier times. Thus, the Valentine would actually be, it would be the attentions of a would-be suitor, so, and whatever methods he might employ to win the maiden's heart. At this time, the Romans celebrated Lupercalia, which is coming. It's going to be really good this year. So, which is also a fertility festival. The priests of Pan ran through the streets, ensuring women's fertility by spanking them with thongs made from goatskin and blessed by the local strega. the witches. That obviously would be Italy. There are many cultures which had similar holiday practices at similar times, so much so that no wonder that one has to wonder if this was due primarily to an agricultural society having a tendency to celebrate the same things at the same times of the year, or in a more universal religion or culture. So, having roots far in antiquity, and being handed down over the centuries, changing only slightly over the generations. So our tradition celebrates with a bird's bed, in which our bird's doll, made of corn or straw and dressed very prettily, is placed. She is the maiden at this time, young, playful, belonging only to herself, or virginal. So alongside her is placed an acorn wand, sized according to the doll's size, which represents the penis, the regenerative male force in nature. So we tell Brid, our secret dreams and wishes that we want to see manifest. So this is a time when we look to the future and dream. This is the Sabbat, where we can plan ahead for what seeds we will actually sow in the coming year, and how we plan to nurture our seeds for a successful harvest later. So a lot of other customs include lit candles in every window of the house, and keeping a perpetual candle on the altar to Brid. Seeds are brought into the circle to be blessed by the goddess and the gods, and to absorb the circle's vibrant energy. Chant, dance, sing, and send energy back into the earth to help her awaken, so that spring may once more bloom. So straw can be woven into Bridget's knot cross, or the corn maiden, and hung in the corners of rooms, over doorways, over beds, for fertility, prosperity, and for the blessings of the goddess. So remember that fertility doesn't necessarily mean having babies. Fertility of the mind, imagination, and of projects you are working to bring birth are also desired manifestations and will be blessed by fertility rituals. So if you are a child of childbearing ability and do not wish to be pregnant, then stress that the fertility you desire is of the mind, or of a certain project, or your creativity, etc. And that is what you will manifest. Very, very interesting. I love this. So it's also traditional in some covens for the priestesses to wear a crown of 13 candles. Ooh, talk about hair going up in flames. A lunar number, representing herself as a maiden of light. Some covens have a crown made up. Others use 13 small electric bulbs instead of candles. It's a lot safer, that seems. Yeah. This is the Feast of Light. As the winter is dying away and the sun grows stronger, and so bonfires are especially appropriate as well. In ages past, people jumped the bonfires to be cured of winter colds and flu. I need to go light a fire. This is the holiday to bring your candles to circle to have them be blessed by the Sabbat energies. So, we have small candles of each color in circle. We mark them appropriately with symbols. Then during the year, we can actually dress any candle for any purpose. We add a few drops of, from our Imbolc candles, so that the Sabbat blessings and energy will be added to the working. So it's kind of like a little bit of a powerhouse of energy stored. So the candles, the bonfires, and the lights are all symbolically adding energy to the waxing sun. In addition, they have another purpose. For remember, at Samhain, Persephone went to the underworld to greet and care for the spirits of the dead. That was 3 months ago, and now it is time for us to signal her to return and bring back to the earth. And, we light the way for her to see her way back from Hades, to remind her that we, with Demeter, are awaiting her here among the living. So in this tradition, though, this Sabbat is the only Sabbat where new coveners can be initiated into a first degree. So this makes this a holiday, a special one for this particular sect, as it marks our birthday into the craft. We always have a birthday cake for ourselves. We celebrate together our initiation anniversary, and they also say we also use one candle for each covener, a large white candle which is dressed, blessed, and lit only on Imbolc, and on each succeeding night Imbolc thereafter until it is burnt out. So that candle is very special to us, them, and among other things is a symbol of the light, which we are now celebrating, and which we embody. So it's pretty interesting. So the usual colors for Imbolc are white and yellow, which contains all the colors in the spectrum, and therefore embodies all colors, and is a symbol of all possibilities. The beginning, the new. Yellow has always been the color associated with the sun, along with gold. Oops. And is also a call to the sun to continue strengthening and chase winter away. Traditional foods include potatoes, carrots, and any root vegetables. Good. So as people in ancient times were getting near the bottom of their root cellar by now. Also corn, that is yellow for the sun, and so many cultures relied on corn as main staples of their diets. Lambs were being born around this time, and so lamb was also served at this holiday, along with rabbits, which were easy to trap, and other wild animals who strayed above ground during the cold months. So we serve a hearty red wine during the gods' half of the year, but you can also serve milk. So since this was a celebration of the freshening of the goats as well. Indeed, it was often a milk festival, and Omelek means milk of ewes. So, ideas for your ritual can be making a Brid's bed, Bridget's knots, corn dollies, as well as blessing seeds for your garden, blessing the water for the seeds, and blessing your candles for the coming year. To name just a few, and yet in our tradition, we don't do personal magic on the Sabbats. We save that for the remaining 357 days of the year. So, Sabbats are for returning energy to the gods and the goddesses, and for being thankful for our blessings, and for blessing our dreams, wishes, and hopes. So we make plans for the development of our lives on a spiritual level, like a happy home, healthy environment, peaceful country, and the renewal of the earth would be appropriate. So blessings for the Sabbat and wonderful ideas to give you energy towards. So, yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff. I mean, all kinds of stuff about that. And I love it. I love it. I love the whole idea. You know, they weren't really sure. You know, I mean, if Saint Bridget actually did live, she was like, what? She died in 542 BC. So, I don't know. But obviously the Christians did turn in, you know, Bridget into Saint Bridget. So it was crazy. And then they renamed it Candlemass and Candlemass. They will have a church mass at the Catholic Church. So I mean, it's really, really interesting. Very interesting stuff. So, what do you guys plan on doing for? I mean, it's today and tomorrow. So I like it. I like that. Definitely like it. We have today and tomorrow for all of this. I'm gonna like knock everything over. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. I thought anyway. But alright guys. I hope you guys have a great Candlemass. I call it Candlemass, or Feast of Fire, Feast of whatever. And yeah. But yes, I do. I love you all, and I hope you guys have a great day. So, all my love, all the way from Venus, all the way back down. I can never do that right. There we go. Alright. I will see you guys tomorrow. So, I love you all, and everybody have a great day.